Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Paranormal Portal. Of course, I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and we are live on this fine hump day night. It's Wednesday, folks, and hope you're having a great week, whatever's going on with you. And thank you so much for joining us here on the Paranormal Portal.
Even though he was late.
But you know, that's the thing. And of course, you're hearing the big toe himself, Mr. Don Longbeard is here. How you doing, brother?
Hey, doing good.
Good. So Don and I were actually ready about an hour ago, and I was like, "Wow, we're so ready! It's crazy." Usually we're like chasing the tail to get to everything done by 7 in order to get a show going. We're kind of sitting here, just having a leisurely talk and relaxing, and all of a sudden, oh my God, it's 5 minutes after 7. So I'm sorry for the late start, folks, but it's okay. We made it. I hope we're worth waiting for, but at any rate, thank you for being here and being with us on the journey as always. What was I going to say? Oh, well, I was going to say the phone board's open. I know there was something else I was going to say, but it's just gone. It just vacuumed right out of my head. So the phones are open tonight. If you want to call in, you sure can. The numbers to call in is 720-923-0500. Again, 0500. I like the hand signs. Supposed to gesture broadly and bring into these grand gestures to make it more interesting. At least in my head, that's what I was thinking. But we got a lot of fun things to get through tonight, as always.
Fun
things, because we're just like a couple of mushrooms, because we're fun guys.
Oh, boy.
Boom. There you go, Mom. That was for you, because I love you.
Fungi.
I'm sure Mom's out there. Portal Mom's got to be out there listening. So I threw her a nice curveball on that one. But Don, are you ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, everybody hang on, because it's about to get spooky. Wow. How's that for an intro, Don? Don's frozen. In absolute joy, of course.
Could you tell it wasn't me?
I did know it was you. I could tell because the light kept changing.
Oh, yeah. The thing in the back. Yeah.
The light kept changing, so it kind of gave you away, but it was a good freeze from. It was pretty convincing. Let's see. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, as always here on the Paranormal Portal, got to thank our sponsor, and this is of course not it. This is it.
What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing oftentimes.
There, bro.
I know I'm just a little disheveled here, but this is of course Cryptid Coin, ladies and gentlemen, a newer cryptocurrency that has its focus set on the heart of cryptid research and investigation, and really pleased to have them as a sponsor of the Paranormal Portal. If you want to learn more about Cryptid Coin and see if it's a good investment for you, by all means, check them out. Go over to cryptidcoin.io. Again, cryptidcoin.io, and see what you think. They are now available on Pancake Swap, so the excitement just keeps building. So a special thank you to Cryptid Coin for sponsoring the Paranormal Portal. So thank you guys so much. And Don.
Yes, sir.
I think it's time.
Time
for.
Time slipping away. I don't know.
For the news.
The news. The news.
All right, folks. What you're about to see is actually a promo video that was done.
Hey, you guys. Not the news.
It was done by our wonderful friend, Mr. Wes Germer, And it's absolutely hilarious. It's been posted out on our YouTube page already. Many of you have probably seen it, but it's out on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere. And just a really cool video. And this is the genius of Wes Germer, ladies and gentlemen. And
I wouldn't go that far.
all right, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the news.
This just in, police officers in Lancaster, Pennsylvania were asking people to be on the lookout for a man who robbed a store. And I think we do have his description. Can we take that? Let's take his description. Okay, this is the guy they wanted people in Pennsylvania to be out on the lookout for. He's got a nose and some hair that goes like that, and he was wearing a hat at the time of this particular crime. He's got kind of a chin that comes down to almost a point. Stands about 5 feet 4.
It just went away. You know, that just got fixed. We walked out of the trailer at some point. My dog stepped on a bee. We went to the vet.
Chaos unfolded. Giant hornets flew into the truck. I jumped across the passenger seat out of the truck. We all bailed.
But ladies and gentlemen, let's get to some news and find out what's going on in the world of the news. The news. Is that not hilarious?
That was freaking hilarious. But at the end of it with the Tony Merkel part, I thought it said hero homeless man or something. I was like, that's not what. Oh no, that's not what it says. Damn it.
Well, I think it's time we actually talk to the creator himself, and he's joining us now.
Oh, there he is.
Are you there?
What's going on, guys? In all seriousness, I created it for fun, and I hope Don didn't get offended by it, because if I'd have thought for 1 second his feelings might be hurt or anything like that, I wouldn't have done it. But
sure.
Disheveled and heavy set, stealing a pig sounds like something I would do, you know.
Well, I like what you posted underneath it on the Paranormal Portal fans page. Was he was found with, you know, threatening to give it back after eating like 5 pounds of bacon. yeah. Sounded like I was getting ready to put a flaming bag on their doorstep, doing an Amber Heard.
Absolutely. That was just brilliant. Thanks again for doing that, man. You got a flair for this. You got a knack.
I thought I'd spice up your guys' intro a little bit for the news. I had fun putting it together, and I'm glad you guys found fun with it. Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't have thought of for two. And I know Don has a great sense of humor, but I just wanted to clarify, like, you know, if I would have thought anyone's feelings might be, except for Amber Heard, of course, anyone's feelings might have been hurt by that, I wouldn't have done it. But it was all in good fun, and I had a lot of fun with the stealing a pig. You know what I mean?
Well, Don does love his grill.
I'm always talking about barbecuing anyhow.
So it does kind of fit. He would have motive.
Shh. Oh, goodness.
That's awesome.
Sold out
brother.
by the guy who sits to my left.
Well, you know, I only keep privacy if I get to share in the spoils.
There you go. Well, you know.
No, that was brilliant. That was awesome, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And anytime you feel like being creative, you can keep us in mind.
You're welcome, guys. Have a great show.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right, brother.
Wes.
Good night.
All right.
There you have it, folks. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. Welcome to the newscast.
By the way, who was that?
Is that Merkel? No. No. I mean,
You're a homeless man.
oh no, that was awesome, but very cool. I'm absolutely thrilled to have posted that, and
awesome.
You guys were all those of you that saw it were all like, wow, that was hilarious. So thanks again, Wes. I wish I was that creative. I really do, but that's definitely.
You know, I find that a lot of our problems with we're plenty creative. Mm-hmm. The problem is getting it created.
Yeah, we're creative. It's just creating is the actual hiccup for us. Yeah, we do have some procrastination issues for sure. But
not me.
No, not you. Of course not.
I'll worry about that tomorrow, though. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll talk about that another time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to the Paranormal Portal news now and talk about some of these articles that I've pulled up for your viewing pleasure. And the first one up tonight is coming from unexplained-mysteries.com, and this is surprising, and obviously this is.
Oh my good God!
I don't know what's wrong with people, but
a lot.
Well, yeah. So here's the article, ladies and gentlemen, and this is coming from unexplained-mysteries.com. Let me find out. I gotta pull up the screen to make sure everything's lined up. You're not even on there, Don. Let me turn on your camera again.
Yeah, please turn me on.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know where the hell everything went. There. Wait. Oh my God, I just screwed up something. There we go. There. Now you're part of it again. This, ladies and gentlemen,
here I come.
Yep. Here you're live now. The real life Conjuring house sells for $1.525 million. Look at that house, folks. I don't know what the hell is worth $1.525 million, but that's what it sold for, and that's it's actually terrifying because
yeah.
that is a piece of hell.
You know,
I'm
that's
sorry.
Gonna become a landmark now, right?
Oh, I'm sure. At least somebody who owns it is going to try to make it one. I don't know. It said, made famous by the hit movie franchise, the real-life inspiration behind The Conjuring has changed hands yet again. I think it just sold a few years ago. I remember covering this before.
I think so, yeah.
Immortalized by the popular 2013 supernatural horror movie, this remote Rhode Island farmhouse was the scene of a notorious real-life haunting that plagued the Perron family, for years. The story goes that a witch had cursed the property, dooming anyone who lived there. The Perrons experienced all manner of unexplained occurrences, which reportedly became increasingly sinister and threatening as time went on. Since the house has changed hands a number of times, with the Heinzen family purchasing it in 2019, and now after going on sale yet again in 2021, it has been bought up by a developer who intends to keep it open to the public. Sure you do. Nice. New owner Jacqueline Nunez of Wonder Group LLC paid significantly more than the initial asking price, but maintains that the decision to buy was personal. It's not a real estate development, she said. It's around my own beliefs. Her plan is to carry on the paranormal business that the previous owners had started, with the house being available for paranormal investigations, day tours, and live-streamed events. Despite its haunted reputation, however, Nunez convinced that there is nothing malevolent there. I look forward to experiencing things, she said.
Hell, you know what they say.
What?
You go looking for it.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say a fool and his money is soon parted.
Well, I was just thinking though, a live stream from there would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. I guess I'm not real familiar with the actual original story, not the Hollywood dramatizations. But I think there was significant activity at one time. But I don't know that it's continued to remain an active property.
Right, I haven't even looked into it.
Me either. So there it is, folks. I will tell you that we have covered that before on the show, that apparently haunted real estate is selling for a premium. It really is. It's fetching
1.525.
Well, yeah, and that's for this scrubby place.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess if it's haunted, that it increases the value for some reason.
Yeah, but you look at it, it's like accidentally spill a beer, burn the place down.
I know.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly not worth $1.525 million.
Please do not use the open fireplace to warm your house.
Do not play with the dolls. Anyway, that's pretty wild, but very cool. That's the first article on our fun fest for the evening. let's get to the next one. And this is coming from Unexplained-Mysteries again. And this one is, cue pause for effect. And
Oh my goodness.
astronomers pick up a mysterious radio signal from an unknown source. And this is brand new as of May 31st, 2022. So apparently more of these signals are coming in, but these are radio signals, so I don't know. Usually they end up attributing them to pulsars or some other astronomical phenomena, not necessarily other intelligent civilizations. But astronomers in Australia have discovered a strange radio source that nobody knows what it could be. The mystery signal, which was detected during observations of the spiral galaxy known as NGC 2082. You know NGC 2082, Don?
Yeah, it passed by last week.
I waved. I waved yesterday.
Ah, no doubt.
It's like, what the hell kind of name is that? It was reported by a team of astronomers headed by Joel Balzan, rather. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Of Western Sydney University. It manifested as a strong point radio source in data from the Australian Square Kilometre Array Pathfinder, the Australia Telescope Compact Array, and the Parkes Radio Telescope. The galaxy that was being observed is situated 66 million light years away and measures approximately 33,000 light years across. Man. While the nature and origin of the mysterious radio signal remains unknown, it's important not to jump to conclusions. Most unexplained sources turn out to be pulsars, nebula, quasars, and other similar objects. So there's no immediate reason to jump to an extraterrestrial interpretation. As things stand, there's so much work to be done to determine what the radio source could be. We present radio continuum observations of NGC 2082 using ASCAP and ATCA and Parkes telescopes from 888 megahertz to 9,000 megahertz, the researchers wrote in a paper on the discovery. Some 20 ARCSec. What the hell is an ARCSec? I mean, really, is this written for doctors or what? ARCSec from the center of this nearby spiral galaxy. We discovered a bright and compact radio source.
Oh, my.
And then a bunch of numbers. I don't know what the hell any of that means. But anyway, a new radio pulse was detected. They don't know what it is.
I wonder
Good
how
enough.
many Fosters they were drinking at the time.
It's Australian for beer.
Australian for beer. It's
Absolutely.
Australian for getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to turn in your man card if you crack a
No
Foster's.
doubt.
I think that's how it works in Australia, but I'm not sure. Obviously, it's not the beer of choice. Not since Crocodile Dundee, I don't think. Maybe not even then. But he was the one that did the commercials way back then, Paul Hogan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, Jake, you're late.
Oh, Jake. Well,
He's actually later than we were.
Yeah. Well, we're not late. We arrive precisely when we mean to.
Exactly. Settle down, Gandalf.
We're neither early nor late, as far as I know. But that's an interesting, discovery. Again, I don't think we're going to find extraterrestrial civilizations based on radio waves. I just don't. I think that is a very particular technology that we developed, and there's no reason to assume that everybody's going to follow the same criteria.
Well, and if they're even anybody that we're going to find is going to be far ahead of us, because they're going like, oh look, there's the poor kid on the block sending out radio waves. Like they can't even quantum compute yet. What the hell are they doing?
That's true.
I mean,
we might be the window lickers on the end of the galaxy.
Remember 50 years ago when they sent out a golden record?
Yeah,
with nudes and an address.
Nudes.
Nudes. So whatever.
Yeah.
They're
well,
like, yeah, we caught those.
Probably not the best way to get to know your neighbors.
Well, yeah,
I'm just saying.
Like,
There is that, folks. But that was interesting anyway. There's still worrying about radio bursts. And maybe there will be something with that. I'm just not convinced that we can assume everybody in the universe developed the same way we did, using the same ways.
That's called hubris.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I agree. All right, so we're going to go to the next one from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this is U.S. Army helicopter footage. Let's close this. U.S. Army helicopter footage of 3 UAPs has been released.
Oh, look, it's the Tic Tac videos all over again.
Yay. I actually have another article dealing with this,
Right.
but we'll get to that later. Genuine footage recorded by the pilots of a U.S. Army helicopter shows 3 unidentified fast-moving objects.
Ah.
The sighting, which occurred November 6, 2018, was captured on camera by the pilots of U.S. Army AH-64 Apache attack helicopter during a training flight in Arizona. The story comes courtesy of the Debrief, which interviewed several individuals, including a former Customs and Border Patrol agent, who confirmed that it isn't just the U.S. Navy pilots who have been encountering unidentified aerial phenomena over U.S. airspace. The 3 objects in the video, which can be viewed below, were moving at high speed in a roughly triangular formation while seemingly rotating around one another as they headed eastward.
Wow.
Yeah, there is a video here, so we'll check it out. The Debrief spoke to former U.S. Air Force F-16 fighter pilot Chris Lado, who confirmed that the objects in the video were without a doubt anomalous. The tracking rate is exceptionally fast, he said. Even if they are only a mile away, I calculate they go approximately 1.28 m, well past the speed of sound. Okay. I don't know, 1.28 thousand is m Roman numeral then? Meaning thousand?
Right.
Probably. I was thinking million at first. I was like, what? But I think it just means, because he said well past the speed of sound. The circle dance maneuver is just not possible. They do a full 360 turn in less than 3 seconds.
Wow.
So let's take a look at it. Again, we're just going to deal with this. I guess.
Star Longbow 281, lane 4, request west slopes.
Again, this is from the Debrief, which is...
Longbow 281, taxi north of Tower 2 west slopes, 1 count.
281, roger.
Wow, are those 3 really fast flying jets up there?
Probably some A-10s or some F-16s. No, we're not looking up there.
So they're kind of just dots on the screen, though. I mean, really.
Star Longbow 281, lane 4, request west slopes.
Longbow 281, taxi north of Tower 2 west slopes, 1 count.
There they are again, those 3 dots.
Roger.
Wow, are those 3 really fast flying jets up there?
Probably some A-10s or some F-16s. No, we're not looking up there.
Oh, so that, right
Yeah,
there.
they kind of looped around each other, didn't they?
Yep.
Wow. They're like, you can't do this. Bet you can't do this.
F-16s.
Wow.
That helicopter.
No, we're not looking up there.
Yeah, there they kind of loop-de-loop right there. Yep.
Request west slopes.
Color filter added. Okay.
Longbow 281, taxi north of Tower 2 west slopes, 1 count.
I think I'll take out the copying, the repeating audio, but there's the dots right there. If you can see them pretty much near the targeting reticle, but
Yeah, they're just like doing loop-de-loops.
they are. They're going kind of in and out of each other and everything. And that's at a high rate of speed. So, wow. There you see it, folks. I don't know. I think that's really, really pretty impressive. It doesn't surprise me, though. I mean, again, these things I am no doubt that this is something. Yeah, there you can really see it with that orange. You can really see them like looping around each other and stuff. Very wild.
Yep.
Wow. There you have it, folks. And it's zoomed. Here's the zoom so you can really see that looping in and out. I'll move my is that you or me?
I think that was me because I felt it rattle.
Yep. Okay. It wasn't me. Sorry. There you go. That's zoomed right in. You can see now, look at how it just kind of goes around each other right there. That's really impressive. Just around and around. They're like tumbling almost in formation. That's pretty incredible. So there you have it, folks. What is it? I don't know, but looks pretty much beyond our known capabilities. I'll say known capabilities because I believe that there's a lot of unknown capabilities that we have too.
Yep.
I firmly believe there is a breakaway space program of some kind.
Yep.
Where there's technology available to a select few people or groups, and that's a club I'm not in, as George Carlin said. George Carlin said, they got a club, and you're not in it. So that's definitely the case for this one, too. I'm not in that club either. Although I've been actually accused of being in the Illuminati by some idiot on YouTube. So,
Well, there's no doubt there.
yeah, threw a bunch of the math numbers at me and said, "Oh yeah, 6, 3, 3, 6, blah blah blah. Everything adds up. Illuminati, we can see you."
Oh, so he threw some gematria at you.
I guess so. I don't know. He did some number kung fu and had me pegged for Illuminati.
Hey, look, I'm a pie.
I like pie.
I like pie.
All right, unexplained-mysteries.com brings us this one, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a bipedal dog-like creature photographed outside of a zoo.
Wow.
Now, I've seen this, and I don't know.
See those knees?
Yeah, those are
knees.
Now, Vic has said that there's both kinds.
Okay.
He said that there's the other version that's more wolf-like, and they seem to have more human-like knees, but there's also the, what is it, digigrade or something?
Digigrade.
And versus plantigrade.
Right.
Now, I think this is plantigrade here, which is normal like us, I think. But digitigrade would be more like a dog, where it would be backwards on the knees. Anyway, the controversial image shows a strange creature that was seen outside a perimeter fence of a zoo in Texas. Well, that's not really a good idea to dress up. If it is an idiot pulling a prank, that's the wrong place to be dressing up like.
Yeah.
They got tranquilizers.
Yeah,
and stuff.
they'll drink your ass. They probably just hope they don't use PCP. Can you imagine that? Oops, we shot him with horse tranquilizers. He's out there just running laps. Yep, it's a dog, man.
Yeah, it's got to be. That's beyond human possibility.
Yep.
This controversial image allegedly shows a strange creature that was seen outside a perimeter fence of a zoo in Texas. The photograph, which was posted up on Reddit by the user Sengu1N, is certainly generating some debate in recent days. However, its authenticity remains a topic of contention, and even if it's genuine, nobody seems to be quite sure what it actually shows. According to the uploader, the image was captured by a game camera, which happened to be covering the perimeter fence of the Amarillo Zoo in Texas. It was posted in a private zookeeper Facebook group, he wrote. The keeper said that they caught the image on the trail camera pointed at a perimeter fence and couldn't figure out what it was. I believe it was pointed from inside the zoo at the perimeter fence, and it was the Amarillo Zoo. The original poster's other posts go back at least a year and are all just normal and animal keeper type posts. Assuming that the picture has not been doctored, it certainly seems to show some sort of animal. However, it's unclear what type of animal it could be. Another possibility is that this could be an optical illusion that we're looking at as a clump of vegetation or something else mundane that just happens to look like a creature.
That's not possible.
Whatever the case, it is certainly unusual.
Oh, my goodness.
That is wild.
It's a clump of vegetation.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, folks, we're going to be doing Trailcam Terrors tonight, too. Thank you. Thanks to Android. Android sent me something on the Discord server, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. We'll use that. So thank you, Android, for that, by the way, and we'll get to that later.
Thanks for pointing that out, Cashew.
What?
Cashew says, private zookeeper Facebook group, another club we're not in.
And you're not in it. Me either. I'm not in that one either. Yeah, we're not in that one either. But you guys are in the Portal Club, just for the record.
That's right. Yep.
This is our club,
and this is
you're in it.
It's a very exclusive club. There's only just under 10,500 of us.
And growing. But it doesn't include the podcast, which is
true, yeah.
doing much more amazing.
Don't cheapen this.
I'm not cheapening it. I thought I was enriching it. I thought. I didn't know which way we were going on that one. But there you go. Bipedal dog-like creature. Is it a dog, man? I don't know. It looks really lanky. Could it be? Maybe. I don't know. Could
I wonder
be.
how far the Amarillo Zoo is from the local convention center. And
Yeah.
if they're having a furry convention or something. I was just out wandering around. They caught me on camera.
I was just over here looking for a date.
Oh, shit.
Thank you.
Oh, God.
Furries, get it? There's furries at zoos. I don't know. In my head,
Is it
that
hot
was
in here,
gold.
or is it just me? Or am I in heat?
I don't know, Don. Must be just you.
Oh,
All right, let's, I don't know, take it into consideration, whatever you think, folks. But it just could be somebody with something wrapped on their head, too. I mean, there's not a lot to descriptive to go on here. The arms don't look extraordinarily long. They look kind of long.
It was
though.
a plastic bag that just happened to
Right.
blow by.
Right.
And it's like the plastic bag that got up and walked across the street in that one video.
Well, oh God, that was kind of weird. Huh?
was kinda
That
weird.
is a weird one. Now, what I was thinking though is this some kind of head wrap thing? You know, just like
Right.
I don't know, some kind of trendy thing that somebody did. I mean, is Coachella nearby or something? I don't know, something like that,
Burning
right?
Burning
Right. Yeah. This guy might have got the wrong Google coordinates on that one. Isn't this where Burning Man is? Nope. You're in the wrong spot. But anyway, it's interesting. It's way too ambiguous to make any kind of judgment calls, but it's interesting.
I bet you if you zoom in, though, it'll get worse.
Just like photos of me, Don. Closer you zoom, the worse it
The
gets.
worse it gets.
Just keep it wide, folks. Keep it wide and distant. All right, so that's interesting, though. I think that's...
Oh, Ruger.
What did Ruger say?
Nothing worth repeating.
Oh, nice. Nice. Uh-oh.
Lizard.
All right, let's get to the next one from Unexplained...
Good.
What are you? Is that for me or?
Yeah, that's for you.
Oh, okay. All right. Unexplained-mysteries.com. Here's for you, Don. Actually,
Exactly.
This is absolutely your story. I thought of you when I pulled it up, and this is
you did.
Clown struck by lightning twice in one day.
And he still lived. Bastard. Try to pantomime that
Yeah. What's funnier than a clown getting hit by lightning? A clown getting hit twice by lightning.
That's what you get for clowning around.
Yeah, exactly. Rodeo clown Casey Wagner got more than he bargained for when he attended a driving event in Texas. Wagner had been attending the Rednecks with Paychecks event in St. Joe when the sudden appearance of a storm forced him to take shelter under a tree. How many children have you, throughout the ages, have been told, don't shelter under a tree? Yeah, there's a reason this guy's a clown. A few moments later, Wagner found himself being struck by a bolt from the blue, not once, but twice in rapid succession.
Wow.
What I remember is just a loud boom, and it dropped me to my knees, and then it hit me again. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, God. That's what I'd be saying. You get hit once, it's like, ooh, that's weird. Twice, I'm sorry, God.
That's not coincidence. I apologize for my entire life.
That's payback right there. He recalled the feeling of the sensation of electricity passing up through his right boot and into his body. When I got hit, it was just two big old flashes. And then the sparks went everywhere, he said. At the hospital, they said the poncho I was wearing was carrying static because it was one of those plastic ones.
Oh,
Despite his ordeal, Wagner had a lucky escape. Doctors told him that the tingling sensation would disappear within a week, but that he was otherwise unharmed. Good for him. Wow. I give everything to God.
Yeah, because he struck you twice. that's what you call gobsmacked.
He said, so I owe everything to him. He's the one that kept me alive. I can tell you one thing. I'm going to start going to church more.
Message received.
Yeah, exactly. Understood. 10-4.
You only had to tell me once. I didn't really need the second shot.
He might have. He might have needed that extra.
Ghost Magnet says, my son was at that event when it happened.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes. Well, thank God everybody's okay. I mean, of course we're laughing and having fun with it, but I'm glad this guy's okay. That's got to be terrifying.
Yeah. Rachel says rodeo clown's a pretty dangerous career choice to begin with.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just in the clown.
Yeah, it probably doesn't come with good dental or anything. Yeah. Nope. Probably not.
That's a gory job.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. That's pretty awesome, though. The guy made it okay.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Yep, absolutely. Next one up on the News Fest is... This one's a way back one from the 2013, and I think the rodeo one might have been as well. But 2013, June, well, that's today, but the date for the article is, and this is Chinese farmers catch gigantic 5-kilogram rat.
Wow.
That's like nearly 10 pounds, right? Or more. Is that more?
Than 10 pounds, yeah.
Oh, my God. Is that like a Nutella, do you suppose, or a Nutrina, or what are those? What do they call those big South American rats? They're like neutrinos.
Food of the gods?
No, unless you're a giant anaconda, then it's the food of the gods. If you worship anacondas, then yes. But I think there are these neutrinos, and I wonder, or I think that's right. Anyway,
I don't know. We talked about them just like last week, didn't we?
Sometime, yeah.
Because it was just
Yeah, but anyway, this is 10 times the size.
Nutria, thank you.
Nutria, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. 10 times the size of a regular rat. The massive rodent had been terrorizing villagers in Hunan province. This
I'm
is
surprised it's still
China.
alive.
Well, it probably isn't.
They'd
This
be
is
like,
2013.
Wuhan that stuff.
Yeah.
Open market. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, this is the wet market. Residents had suspected something was amiss when they discovered that fish were going missing from a local pond. In an effort to get to the bottom of the mystery, a guard was stationed in the area to keep an eye out for signs of suspicious activity. Instead of a human culprit, however, they found to their amazement that 2 giant rats had been sneaking in and dragging the 3-kilogram fish out of the pond. Local farmers eventually succeeded in catching one of the creatures, which was later dubbed Ratzilla in honor of its size.
Oh, jeez.
Absolutely. The massive rat weighed 5 kilograms and measured 90 centimeters in length. One of the village elders commented that he'd never seen such a large rat in all of his life. Local media outlets reported that the rat was likely to be an invasive species that had originated in the Americas and was said to be 10 times the size of rats normally found in the region. In the final twist, villagers proceeded to catch the rat and eat it.
Told you!
But ended up breaking 2 knives just trying to cut it due to the thickness of its bones.
I told you.
Yes, you did. You did. And I'll bet you they're after that other one. Yep. There you go. I don't know. That's pretty spooky stuff. Big. I think they are the nutrias. That is what they're thinking anyway. But I guess they can't genetic test it anymore unless they save some bones.
Hey, hold on. Let me get Amber Heard.
Let me get you a sample. Come back in 12 hours. I'll get you a sample.
Just give me milk. I'll give it right back to you.
Oh, nice. Oh, no. Oh, no. But anyway, that's so ugly. Oh, dear God. That's the news for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you've come to love the news, right? All right, let's get back to the regular show here. It's so disgusting. It's so gross. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is why you're here, folks, right? This is why you keep coming back.
I gotta say, I got some classy potty humor though.
Yeah, you can hit them under the fence, that's for sure. They're all the low hanging fruits. Thank you. Oh my God. Yep, you can't pay for entertainment like this, folks.
Yeah, they don't. Well, maybe they do. Psychologically, at least.
You pay in your therapy hours after each show. I don't know. That's funny, though. That is funny stuff.
Can you imagine somebody? Last night I was watching this show on YouTube.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know.
I had to come see you with my new counselor every week.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't understand.
I've seen one in person in Maryland. Lucky it was in a car. Oh, a Nutria.
The Nutria was in a car?
It was driving. No,
holy crap.
No, that's Android saying that. Wow.
That was
okay.
in Pennsylvania, he said? Was it driving a buggy instead?
I've seen one in person in Maryland.
Maryland,
said, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Android said no actual rats can get bigger than house cats. Look up Madison Avenue rat. Okay.
Yeah, well, wharf rats where I'm from, they get as big. They get 10 pounds easy.
Really?
Yeah, that's 5 kilograms. Yeah, more. Yeah.
Wharf rats, they call
wharf
them?
rats. Yeah, because they live on the wharfs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. My son was there at that event when that happened. That was Ghost Magnet saying that. Okay. I'm just going back and checking the chat because
Maggie says I tell my husband all the best PP jokes, Paranormal Portal jokes when he gets home from work. Yeah, we should do segments, Portal segments, just of these moments.
Well, like we
they're
said,
You know, we could probably just, you know, go back a couple and get like 15, 20 minutes worth of.
Oh yeah, we can do a pieces episode that way for sure. All right, folks. I thought this would be kind of fun to discuss because this is a topic that I know Don is passionate about. We've both paid attention to several shows about this topic, and this is coming from an article from a site called Ancient Origins.
I love this site.
Reconstructing the story of humanity's past. Yeah. And the article in question is, let me pull it up here. It is top 10 giant discoveries in North America. And as you can see by this chart, number 1 is enormous. Oh my God, we're talking 18 feet tall. Wow. This is the crazy stuff. And now, whether I know out there, a lot of people may kind of shrug their shoulders at this and say, well, there's no giants. But I'm here to tell you, look, there is historical precedence and legend and lore.
And photographic evidence.
Well, to some degree, yeah. Of there having been giants. There's a photo of a man holding up what looks like a femur that's almost as tall as he is. Yeah. Here's the thing. It's not only a part of the histories for many cultures around the world, but there are still reports that come in from time to time of people encountering giants. And I'm not talking Bigfoot. We're talking something that's very large, often red-haired, with beards and looking very man-like, but enormous. And actually, on the podcast was it the first season that Wes was on? Was that when it was? The Chronicles of Sasquatch?
Oh, I don't know.
Is what the name of the episode is. But at the end of that interview with Wes, he talked about a story that was shared with him by a retired colonel that was in Vietnam. And it is an absolutely terrifying story that occurred apparently during the Vietnam conflict at that time. And if you listen to it, it's just an incredibly shocking story. Now, there's also stories right here in North America of people having witnessed what they believe to be giants, like 15 plus feet tall. I think the mountains of Montana or possibly Alaska, there's been some sightings. Right. It's absolutely humbling to think that they very well could be out there. Now, are they a subterranean species? Are they utilizing some kind of wormhole or portal or, some interdimensional thing? I don't know. But there are people that have given up their hunting. I remember hearing a story years ago of this old guy that was a hunter, and he was in his stand just waiting for whether it was elk or deer. I don't remember. And I think it was in Montana, but I might be wrong. And he was sitting there quietly and suddenly heard this sound. I think to his left, he looked over, and there walking past, unaware of him, was this large giant, a red-haired giant wearing rudimentary clothes and marching through the forest and ended up going up into the mountain. And the guy was a lifelong hunter and quit hunting. He quit. And I can't blame him. I mean, because, fee, fi, fo, fum, they eat people like a drum. Sorry. That's all I had. But, there are stories also of them eating people. Of course, the what is it? The Lovelock Caves, right. The story from I think the Cherokee that were being plagued by these giants, attacking and eating their tribe members.
Oh, Rachel.
And then they ended up attacking them. Right. And so the long and short of it, no. Oh, dear God. But they ended up trapping the giants in a cave and apparently burned them out. They put fires into the entrance and smoked them out, that they suffocated in this cave. If any tried to break out, the warriors were out there and would ended up killing them with their weapons if any tried to leave. And so it was kind of a no-win situation for the giants. And apparently those skeletons and skulls were discovered. But, of course, eventually on all of these discoveries, the Smithsonian at some point moves in, and then there's suddenly no longer evidence of it. And so why, I don't know, because there is historical and religious precedence for this. It's not as if it would reshape anybody's view of the world, because many people that are of faith believe in these giants, and many, cultures believe in giants. And so for whatever reason, and it's, could be many levels or reasons, but I don't pretend to know. But let's get into this article and have a look at what this site, Ancient Origins, has to say of it. Is there anybody to attribute this to? Oh, Hugh Newman is the one that wrote this, and this is from February. It was updated 12th of February 2022, so it's relatively.
Take out the first part of his last name.
Human? That's cute. He's a Newman, a new human. So let's check it out. It says the Iroquois, the Osage, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, the Osage, the Tuscaroras, the Hurons, the Omahas, and many other North American Indians all speak of giant men who once lived and roamed in the territories of their forefathers. All over what is now the U.S. are traditions of these ancient giants. I do have to blow this up, though. It's a little small. It's a little bit small. There we go. Wow. It blew it up into a whole different format. Over 1,000 accounts of 7-foot and taller skeletons have been reportedly unearthed from ancient burial sites over 200-year period in North America. Newspaper accounts, town and county histories, letters, scientific journals, diaries, photos, and Smithsonian ethnology reports have carefully documented this. These skeletons have been reported from coast to coast with strange anatomic anomalies such as double rows of teeth, jawbones so large as to fit over the face of the finder, and elongated skulls documented in virtually every state. Smithsonian scientists identified at least 17 skeletons that stood at over 7 feet in their annual reports, including one example that was 8 feet tall and the skull with a 36-inch circumference, reported from Anna in Illinois in the Smithsonian Annual Report of 1873. An average human skull is about 20 inches in circumference. The Smithsonian Institution is mentioned dozen more times in the recipient of enormous skeletons from across the entire United States. Yeah. The fall of the giants, these are just things. The skeletons mentioned no longer, what are these, links to other things? Oh, okay. So we can revisit these other links at another time, or possibly after this if we choose. But the skeletons mentioned no longer seem to exist, regardless of their actual size, and the remaining ones that were on display were removed and repatriated by the NAGPRA, Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. Repatriation, yeah.
Oh my God. See, okay.
What?
So they're repatriating them to the indigenous tribes.
Yeah, apparently, is what they're saying.
So they're saying, oh, these aren't giants. These are just misunderstood First Nations peoples.
Right. Well, like our friend Nase talks about the Anishinaabe people historically being 7 feet tall.
Well, okay, yeah, okay. Now that you remind me of that, okay.
Yeah. So while the authors certainly support this law, it does present a moral and ethical conundrum in terms of trying to ascertain the proof everyone wants to see, physical evidence of giants. And there's some clippings, skeletons of news accounts featured in the book. In this unique top 10, we look at some examples of giant skeletons that were reported from across ancient North America, although we warn you now that number 1 is so large we admit it may not be authentic. Our countdown begins at one of the most important mound sites in America and quite possibly the world. This is Serpent Mound in Ohio, 1890s. 7-foot tall skeleton. Oh, yeah, the Serpent Mounds. And Nasa talks about wanting to go there, too. It says, the Great Serpent Mound is a 1,370-foot-long prehistoric effigy mound located near Peebles that has been thoroughly researched by Ross Hamilton, who has written extensively about its mysteries and the giants discovered in the area. Recent radiocarbon analysis dates it to around 321 BC, and this puts it in the realm of the Adena civilization who were present in the area at this time. In the 1890s, Professor Frederick Ward Putnam excavated some of the mounds next to Serpent Mound and found only 6-foot tall skeletons, but postcards showing one 7 feet in height was recently rediscovered by researcher Jeffrey Wilson, and it may have been one of these excavated by Putnam, as he was the only person to dig at the site. Ross first published this in his book, A Tradition of Giants, and it clearly states it was from Serpent Mound on the postcard, but there is still debate as to where this photo of a 7-foot skeleton was actually taken. Notice the legs are cut off at the knees, so 7 feet, what we actually see, or is it an estimation if he had his lower legs and feet attached? Could it have been more like 8 feet if the shins and feet were intact? Right. Wow. Number 9, Cresap Mound, West Virginia in 1959. 7-foot 2-inch skeleton. In 1959, Dr. Donald Dragoo, the curator of the section of man at the Carnegie Museum, unearthed a 7-foot 2-inch skeleton during the complete excavation of Cresap Mound in northern West Virginia. This individual was of large proportions. When measured in the tomb, his length was approximately 7.04 feet, and all of the long bones were heavy. And I guess that's an image, the 7-foot 2 skeleton. Okay. All right. There's a map of where I guess they dug it up. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it says, Dragoo published the photo of the actual skeleton in his book, so there's no doubt it was authentic. Dragoo joins many other university-trained anthropologists and archaeologists who reported discovering skeletons over 7 feet in length in burial mounds, often with anatomical anomalies. A few of the professionals reporting these skeletal finds were Dr. Walter B. Jones, Moundsville, Alabama, 7'6", and many 7-footers. Dr. Forrest Clements, head of anthropology at the University of Oklahoma, 6 7-foot skeletons. And Dr. Donald A. Kadzow, Cambridge University, 7-foot 5-inch skeleton, found in Pittsburgh, with many other large skeletons with anatomic anomalies reported. Dr. Byron Cummings, head of the archaeology department at the University of Arizona, considered the dean of southwestern archaeology, several over 8-footers. Wow. Thomas Wilson, curator of the prehistoric anthropology at the Smithsonian, verified an 8-foot skeleton with a massive jawbone. Mm-hmm. W.J. Holland, curator of the Carnegie Museum, unearthed an over 8-foot skeleton in Pennsylvania, as reported in many scientific journals, including Scientific America. Number 8, mounds in Iowa, 1897, 7-foot 6-inch skeleton. This account from the Worthington Advance, November 18, 1897, describes the ethnological work of the Smithsonian Institution's Division of Eastern Mounds and quoted the director of the Bureau of Ethnology at the time, John Wesley Powell. The image below is accompanied the news report. It is a matter of critical record that in digging through a mound in Iowa, the scientists found the skeleton of a giant who, judging from actual measurements, must have stood 7 feet 6 inches tall when alive. The bones crumbled to dust when exposed to the air. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, that probably wasn't the most professional of digging either, though. Yeah.
Wow. It's come a long way.
Yeah. As part of the Search for the Lost Giants show, Jim and fellow researcher James Clary investigated the following account that had this heading. An ancient Ozark giant dug up near Steelville. Strange discovery made by a boy looking for arrowheads gives the museum, Missouri town rather, an absorbing mystery to ponder. From the Steelville Ledger, June 11th, 1933, he turned up the complete skeleton of an 8-foot giant. The grisly find was brought to Dr. R.C. Parker here and stretched out to its enormous length in a hallway of his office, where it has since remained the most startling exhibit Steelville has ever had on public view. Wow, so it was on public view. While reading through the microfilm of the Steelville Library, 3 reports of the find were uncovered, including the photo that shows Les Eaton, a 6-foot man, laid out next to the 8-foot skeleton in Dr. Parker's office. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's a lot bigger. Huh. And the Steelville Ledger reported that the skeleton was packed up and shipped to the Smithsonian.
Never to be heard of again.
Like magic.
Smithsonian magic. Poof!
All right. Number 6 is Miamisburg, Montgomery County, Ohio. Miamisburg. I've never heard of that, but that's the first. It's an 8-foot, 1.5-inch skeleton. Miamisburg Mound is believed to have been built by the Adena culture anywhere between 1000 and 200 BC. It's the largest conical burial mound in Ohio, once nearly 70 feet tall, the height of a 7-story building, and 877 feet in circumference. Hugh investigated the site in September 2012, and after talking to some researchers at the local historical society, he found there were other skeletal remains reported in the nearby area. Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah. Numerous skeletal remains were uncovered from the mound, including a giant jawbone and bones of unusual size. But it was the discovery half a mile away that became a national sensation and was reported in the Middletown Signal January 17th, 1899, with the headline, Bones of Prehistoric Giant Found Near Miamisburg. Wow. Ron the Sage says, Paranormal Portal, the indigenous people of the Seneca Nation are very large, many over 6 feet 4 inches, and built large like linebackers. Yeah, that's probably true, brother. Wow. The skeleton of a giant found near Miamisburg is the cause of much discussion, not only among the curious and literate, but is that illiterate? No, yeah, the curious and illiterate. Yeah. But among the learned scientists of the world, the body of a man more gigantic than any ever recorded in human history has been found in the Miami Valley of Ohio. The skeleton is calculated must have belonged to a man 8 feet 1.5 inches in height. Professor Thomas Wilson, curator of the prehistoric anthropology at the Smithsonian Institute, said the following after examining the find. The authenticity of the skull is beyond any doubt, its antiquity unquestionably great. To my own personal knowledge, several such crania were discovered in the Hopewell group of mounds in Ohio. The jaws are prognathous, projecting beyond the face, and the facial index remarkably low. Number 5 is the San Diego giant. It's an 8-foot 4-inch mummy. Oh, yeah, this is a real popular picture that's been around. I've seen this many, many times, but look at the size. Oh, my God. It says, this fascinating discovery reports of a giant mummy found in San Diego that is currently believed to be a hoax. However, let's take a closer look, as there is some intrigue and inconsistency with this popular story. The first report appeared in 1895 with the subheadings 9 feet high and probably a California Indian. Measurement well authenticated over big men and women of fact and fable who are famous types of if gigantism. When accurately measured, it turned out to be 8 foot 4 inches and was carefully inspected and measured by Professor Thomas Wilson, curator of the Department of Prehistoric Anthropology in the Smithsonian Institution, and by other scientists.
Smithsonian. Why does that word keep popping up?
The magic. Smithsonian magic.
Poof.
Poof. Well, there you go. So, yeah, I mean, obviously it would be a hoax after they investigated it.
I think the investigation was a hoax.
Probably. The San Diego giant was purchased by the Smithsonian for $500, which is over $14,000 in today's money, in 1895, although they later claimed it was a hoax.
See?
Wow.
They wanted their money back. There are government.
Yeah. 13 years later, in 1908, when the mummy was being exhibited, the Smithsonian ran some tests and suddenly dismissed it as a hoax, saying it was made from gelatin.
Well, yeah.
What is it, orange?
What do you...
It was made of gelatin. Fun. I mean, nobody could have figured that out before this, right?
Well, gelatin is made from pig blood.
Okay.
So, there you have that.
Yeah, which is probably important.
Well, I mean, that's, you could probably make gelatin from your bones as well.
I'm sure you could.
So,
I'd probably
there you
make some
go.
damn good gelatin. I'm
You
just
right.
saying.
You'd be like
I'd be
strawberry or
I'd
something.
be delicious as hell.
Sure.
I'm sure. The fact that it took so long after spending 500 whole bucks to acquire it, plus the fact it was carefully inspected by experts 13 years earlier does suggest there may be more to this story than meets the eye. It's like,
that's because
somebody came back with a Jello mold. They took the real one out and put a Jello mold in the place.
That's kind of what they did to the Minnesota Iceman, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the story. Interestingly, Alice Hrdlicka joined the Smithsonian in 1903, right in between the discovery and final debunking. He was not interested in giants and made a concerted effort to eradicate them from the historical record.
No kidding.
That's the guy, huh? You bastard. All right. It is also interesting to note that the director of prehistoric anthropology, Thomas Wilson, and the ethnologist in charge, W.J. McGee, were both involved in this story and were obviously keen to make sure the Smithsonian got it back to their headquarters at an immense cost, $500 in 1895 equates to 14 grand today. But why would they bother doing it if it was simply a sideshow hoax?
Right.
The strange twist, yeah, exactly. The strange twist in Smithsonian involvement and the immense amount of money spent on this makes this worthy of inclusion in this top 10. Good call, I think. Yeah. A similar mummified giant also turned up in the Spiral Mounds, Oklahoma, and it measured 8.8 foot 5 inches and was on display for a few months when it was seen by several people before it disappeared. Like magic. Poof. Number 4, the Catalina Island, California, 9 foot 2 inch skeleton, and other 7 foot and 8 foot examples. The Channel Islands, I guess, off the east coast of California, off the coast. There's no east coast.
Show me the east coast. They
I don't
haven't
know.
fallen into the water yet.
It's magic. The story is numerous. The Channel Islands off the coast of California have turned up numerous oversized skeletons. The story is intriguing and controversial, and it stars amateur archaeologist Ralph Glidden in his bizarre museum. But before the main act, a German naturalist got the story going in 1913. Dr. A.W. Furstenan reported unearthing an 8 foot tall skeleton with artifacts such as mortar, pestles, and arrowheads on Catalina. And he was told of a legend while in Mexico of a giant and noble race that lived on the island, who existed long before the white man and had since vanished. Amateur archaeologist Ralph Glidden unearthed and collected a total of 3,781 skeletons on the Channel Islands between 1919 and 1930. Working for the Haya Foundation of New York, and unearthed a 9 foot 2 inch skeleton and several measuring over 7 feet. So a skeleton of a young girl, evidently of high rank, within a large funeral urn, was surrounded by those of 64 children, and in various parts of the island more than 3,000 other skeletons were found. Practically all the males averaging around 7 feet in height, one being 7 feet 8 inches from the top of his head to the ankle, and the other being 9 feet 2 inches. There's another picture, and it says, as part of the search for the lost giants, Jim and Bill Vieira,
who's going to be at Phenomicon.
Absolutely going to be at Phenomicon. So are Don and I.
Yep.
And possibly Sheldon. We'll see. Catalina to investigate the contents of the box, and indeed there were photos of hundreds of skeletons and skulls, excavations, artifacts, and burials. They also uncovered an account of a 28-inch femur unearthed by Glidden on San Nicolas Island, reported by the Judge of Avalon, Ernest Windle, and this would make the skeleton over 8 feet tall. Wowzers. Beaver Lake Ozark Caves, Arkansas, 1913, nearly 10 feet skeleton and huge skulls. This account from an Ozark Cave in Arkansas is found in New Age magazine, volume 18, 1913, given by the highly regarded reporter Victor Schoffelmeyer. And it says, many of these caves at a depth of more than 3 feet, he found the remains of several giant human skeletons, including an almost perfect skull which differed in many particulars from a modern specimen. When partly joined, the largest skeleton was almost 10 feet tall. Wow, that's a big skeleton.
That's only partly joined.
Yeah, what if it was all the way joined?
Right.
It would put all its pieces together and form Voltron. Sorry.
Oh, boy.
That's my inner geek coming out. Sorry.
Oh,
during the filming of Search for the Lost Giants, the site of the cave was investigated. It had been flooded with the damming and creation of Beaver Lake between 1960 and 1966. Bill Vieira and professional scuba diver Mike Young dived into the lake and found a huge shelter cave, believed to be the site of the skeletal finds, and while a 70-foot stone wall was found at the entrance of the cave showing likely human habitation, no more clues were forthcoming. Text from the original article reads as follows. While the historical features of the Ozarks held our attention, by far the most fascinating discovery was made by an aged recluse and naturalist who, for 10 years, had lived in a shelter cave near where we camped. Dad Riggins spent much of his time digging in the ashes from the floor of many of these caves. At a depth of more than 3 feet, he found the remains of several giant human skeletons, including an almost perfect skull which differed in many particulars from a modern specimen. When partly joined, the largest skeleton was almost 10 feet tall. Dad Riggins showed us hieroglyphics covering the Palisades, thought to be thousands of years old. Wow. Then we go to Lompoc Rancho, California, 1819. 12-foot skeleton. Oh, my God. Hugh investigated this famous report back in November 2008 by visiting the area of the ranch it was discovered on. In 1819, an old lady saw a gigantic skeleton dug up by soldiers at the Purisima on Lompoc Rancho. The natives deemed it a god and was reburied by direction of the padre. This short report reemerged with a broader range of details in 1833, and now various authors and websites repeat the same story. It goes something like this. Soldiers digging a pit for a powder magazine at Lompoc Rancho in California hacked their way through a layer of cemented gravel and found a 12-foot sarcophagus. The skeleton of a giant man about 12 feet was found inside. The grave was surrounded by carved shells, huge stone axes, 2 spears, and thin sheets of porphyry, pure mineral with quartz, covering the skeleton. These were covered with unintelligible symbols, and he had a double row of teeth, both upper and lower. The soldiers consulted a local tribe of Indians who, after going into trance, claimed they were geographically displaced Alagawi Indians from the Ohio Valley area. When the natives began to attach some sort of religious significance to the find, authorities ordered the skeleton and all the artifacts secretly reburied. No further information is available, so it is impossible to verify this information, but numerous other skeletons of this height have been reported in such newspapers as the New York Times. 2 further 12-foot examples were reported in Jeffersonville, Kentucky. The New York Times, May 22nd, 1871, and Bernard Museum, the Provincial Evening Press, September 13th, 1883. Furthermore, a 13-foot example was said to have been unearthed in Janesville, Wisconsin. The Public Ledger, August 25th, 1870, and even bones that were estimated to be from a skeleton 14 feet tall at the Aloha Mounds. The New York Times reports that in April 5th, 1886. These are all well out of the normal range for humans, but are worth noting here as these immense sizes pop up again and again in well-respected newspapers. Number 1. This is the biggie, folks. This is the huge one. This is the king of all the giants that were found. West Hickory, Pennsylvania, 1870, 18-foot skeleton. 18 foot. I mean, can you wrap your head around that? What is that? That's like a house.
That's two-level house, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the first 2 levels.
Right. Yeah, with a gabled roof and everything, right? I mean, that's huge. The headline of this chart chopper reads, "The Cardiff Giant Outdone. Alleged discovery of a giant in the oil regions." This original report came from Oil City Times in 1870, and underneath the immense armor, it revealed some startling anatomical oddities and a skeleton that reached a staggering height, the tallest example we have come across. They exhumed an enormous helmet of iron, which was corroded with rust. Further digging brought to light a sword which measured 9 feet in length.
Wow.
The report continued that they had discovered a well-preserved skeleton of an enormous giant. The bones of the skeleton are remarkably white. The teeth are all in their places, and all of them are double and of extraordinary size. It was estimated to be 18 feet tall, and the bones were being prepared to be sent to New York. Clearly, however, this could be an exaggeration, as 18 feet is unheard of in the historical record, but the matter-of-fact description is intriguing. Interestingly, the discovery was reported to be buried 12 feet below a mound, so it could suggest a deep antiquity, however tall he was. That's a lot of article there. We hope this tiny section of accounts leaves one realizing there may be some truth to these reports. Although numbers 9 and 10 cannot be verified, they are well beyond the established scope of human height. We do not believe they are all authentic, but what you have read here constitutes only 1% of what we have in our archive. We include 250 of these accounts in our book, Giants on Record, America's Hidden History, Secrets in the Mounds, and the Smithsonian Files. Smithsonian Magic.
Poof.
The genesis of the North American giants is shrouded in mystery, but we believe that they were involved in the sophisticated mound-building cultures of the Midwest, as royal tombs with reported enormous skeletons were often found within them. There were many native legends that placed them in the era of the megafauna, mammoths, mastodons, saber-toothed tigers, etc., at around 13,000 years ago. There are dozens of oral histories that revere them as gods, and sometimes as fearsome cannibalistic warriors. Great wars were said to have taken place between these titans, and prehistoric battlefields with oversized bones and weapons were frequently reported by early colonial farmers. Eyewitness accounts of live giants were reported by English and Spanish explorers, and even some of the early presidents, mystics such as Edgar Cayce, Rudolf Steiner, Madame Blavatsky, as well as the Rosicrucians and Freemasons, all regarded giants as a reality. The origins of North America giants are hotly debated by independent researchers, academics, and skeptics, but there is now enough data to begin serious research into the subject, and we cover all the theories of their origins in our new book, ranging from Denisovans of Siberia to the Nephilim of the Bible lands. And there's also compelling evidence that the giants may have originated within the Americas. Wow, right. Hundreds of Native American creation myths and oral histories attest to this, with the giants being mentioned in the stories from remote times. One example can be found in the writings of Tuscarora Indian David Cusick in his book Six Nations, 1825. He states that when the Great Spirit made the people, some of them became giants. However, most people don't believe in giants, but rather scoff at the idea, saying it's all just folklore that got mixed up and sensationalized by newspaper journalists. We disagree, as there is ample evidence within Native American mythology, genetic data, ethnological studies, scientific reports, early excavation records, first-hand accounts, and discoveries featured in newspapers and town history books to suggest otherwise. Now is the time for academia to take a look at this data and to investigate what really happened at the Smithsonian, as an important chapter in human history is on the verge of being lost forever. Wow. So Jim Vieira and Hugh Newman, the guy who wrote this, had been working together investigating Native American stone and earthen constructions. That's cool. I did not know that. Very cool article, and I'm here to, I believe it. I mean, don't you, Don? I mean, is that plausible to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because we've been hearing about it for ever.
Yeah.
And we've heard stories of of the conspiracy stories of the Smithsonian loading these on boats and
Yes.
taking them out into the Atlantic, which is to the east coast of California, and and throwing them over.
I see what you did there.
Okay. And then also just they also supposedly had also smashed them into powder and
Yes.
sold them as medicinals.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. I think that they're there, and again, there are very rare reports that still come in
Right.
about these things, but I don't know. It's possible. I don't pretend to know. I like the idea that they're there, and I'm also terrified by the idea. Right.
Right. Yep.
Because my God, there's already enough stuff in those woods that absolutely are I don't know. They're way bigger, stronger, faster, smarter maybe than us in the forests.
Yeah.
And that's the things that we already believe are there. But now if you put 18-foot giants out there, 16-foot giants, whatever. I mean, and some of the Bigfoot reports come back at 10, 12 feet.
Right.
They're rare, but they do come in at that size. Even Ken Gerhard, I think, agrees that probably 10 foot is about the upper
Right.
possibility, but maybe they get a little bigger. Who knows? We know so little that it's hard to have any opinions, but these are things that would be half again as tall.
Right.
When you start talking about that, it's like, man.
Well, wouldn't it be interesting if some of these were actually like Bigfoot skeletons?
It would be, and I thought about that as we were reading it because, I mean, what do we know about Bigfoot? Well, not much.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't know his physiology. We
Right.
don't know the bone structure.
We oftentimes people say, well, it doesn't have a conical head. Well, often, there's a lot of reports of Bigfoot having a round head.
Well, yeah, and there's in this it's also there's reports of them having conical heads, giants having conical heads.
Yes, and that picture from
yeah.
that mummy one is definitely looks like it could be in the Bigfoot realm. When you look at this, where is it? There it is.
Yeah.
That definitely looks like it could be in the range of like a Bigfoot as far as the shape.
Right.
The shoulders look a little narrow, but who knows? Without the musculature and stuff, maybe that compacts just fine. It's hard to say. But, I mean, look at those legs. Those legs are, if this is absolutely ground level or maybe an inch or so higher than these guys, that puts the knees at like their thighs. Mm-hmm. And the waist at their, eye line. That's incredible. This doesn't, I mean, this looks like it could be some possible Bigfoot. So, I mean, some of it may be Bigfoot, but it might be something else out there too, folks. And again, I don't think that they're real common if they are indeed out there.
Right.
But there's at least, and I really appreciate this article because he did a hell of a job. It's very well documented. They hit a lot of different sources.
They did, yep.
And they touch on a lot of history. And, could all of these people, again, it's like everything else in the paranormal. Could everybody be wrong? So this compiled reports that they included in here, including newspaper articles, researchers documenting the Smithsonian itself,
right.
And all of these people, could they all be wrong and that they were all just mistaken? Well, I don't think so. Oh, yeah, Jake. Jake wanted the email. Yeah, our email here is paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. Thank you, Rachel. How much money will I get if I sneak in the basement of the Smithsonian and get videos? It's 50 minutes from me. Well, I think it's how much money you're going to need if you sneak out to make bail. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a big payout, it's not going to come from the Paranormal Portal because this is definitely a duct tape and baling wire kind of operation here. Yep. So we don't have that Merkle money here.
And gelatin, lots of gelatin.
Lots of gelatin. Absolutely,
yep.
We'll make
Merkle money.
We'll make you definitely a really nice Jello mold.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll even put a hot dog on it.
Absolutely, but yeah, let's see who's here, Don.
This guy named Wes.
Oh, Wes is in here? Oh, there he is. Don's standing at 5'4" inch. Can't understand what 12 feet means. You might as well be talking about giants being 100 feet tall.
So we've got Android, Bear Grease, Digger Dog, Drake C, Elaine's here, Gemini, hi. There's Jake, Maggie M10, Rachel, of course, Ron the Sage, Ruger, and Wonder Woman. Let's see. A couple people. Mirror Nuance.
Nuisance.
Mirror Nuisance? Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Two things.
Fourth color came in.
Fourth color's here. Yep. Ghost Magnet. Yep.
There we go.
All right. Well,
Good
now
to see
we're
you
getting
guys.
some people in there.
Now we got some people in there, but
it's
if
just that you're chatting now.
Oh, now they're starting to talk, so now you have to reset, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to do it. But there you go. Love you all.
We love you all. Thank you all for being here.
Did I say Digger Dog?
I don't know if you did or not. I'm sorry. I was.
Beast Titan. That's a new name to me.
Beast Titan.
Beast Titan.
Yeah, that person was in here. I think the last show or the last couple shows. So good to see you guys. Thanks for coming back.
Why?
Most of all, because we love the company.
Just here and there was there.
Let me close this and get ready for our next part. What time is it, by the way?
It is
8:26. Okay, we got to start hitting.
A quick break.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Don't go away. I'll leave you with the musical stylings of me.
Brent Thomas.
Everybody likes to play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace the lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. Raging anger boils inside me, and their lies keep falling apart. But I'm not talking yet. I'm not talking yet. I'm not talking I am finished with my silence. I am not a stupid boy. No more breaking me with kindness. Just you dance upon my joy. Leading me with empty promise. You're just another fucking mess. Taking off the slice of my sanity. Just make sure that you're well fed. I'm not talking yet. I'm not talking yet. I'm not talking yet. I'm not talking
Oof. And we're back at it. How you guys doing? We are back at it. Sorry about that. Had to take a little loo break, but we're back here.
My apologies. It was my fault.
It's all right.
It was my fault. I'm an old guy. Hey, there's a helicopter.
Look, Mommy, there's an airplane up in the sky.
Jinx.
If my guitar was here, I could have played that line. Doom, 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 doom. I can play that. Anyway, sorry to brag, but I love Pink Floyd. It's my all-time favorites. All right.
Yeah, I think he did tell that story on our show, but he wanted it for some reason. He didn't release it because of the person wanted to remain anonymous, and the story kind of low key. I think is.
I thought that was the Vietnam one, but I don't remember. I guess
there's been so many.
It's all gelling. It's coalescing in my head. I don't remember.
It's all gelatining.
Yeah, just like giant bones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. I want to get to a couple of Phantoms and Monsters reports here.
Oh my God, there's a wiener in there.
Don did just get back from the bathroom. It's still hitting him.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
The low-hanging fruit. Sorry, this is the stupid humor you guys hopefully are dealing with, okay, but we don't get too sophisticated here on the portal. It's like somewhere in the realm of like high school locker room. All right, so
oh my God.
All right, I'm trying to keep it together. All right. Let's focus. All right. Very cool montages. Thank you, Jeffrey Dixon. I think you're talking about my montage, but
yes, absolutely.
He was dying. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I remember about that. Yeah, Wes says he was dying of cancer and was actually high up in the military food chain. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that story I remember you shared with us. I was thinking about that I heard a story, and I thought it was when I was listening to Sasquatch Chronicles back in my cubicle days when I was doing web pages and stuff.
When you was prairie dogging.
When I was prairie dogging. I heard the story of, I think there was an old fella that was hunting up in the mountains somewhere and basically was waiting in his stand, and suddenly a big giant ambled by and walked right up the mountain, and he, as I remember, it was just, that was the whole story. It's like he was just done. He was just done. He saw it and couldn't believe it. But I don't remember where I heard it, if that was on your show or if you said it on my show. I don't remember. But it was those kind of stories just stick with me. Oh, yeah. Alaska. It was in Alaska. Okay. That was in Alaska. Yep. There it is. That's what I thought. Okay. I got you. Yeah, that's a hell of a story. But the reports like that do come in, folks. So, I mean, it's not like it's a phenomenon that's completely relegated to the past. There is still at least some encounter stories still emerging. And, I don't know. I guess you believe what you want or come to your own conclusions on that. But is it possible? I think it is, because where did they just suddenly go? Yeah. I don't know. They could be some subterranean race that just comes up every once in a while, does their thing and goes back down. Maybe it's a seasonal thing. Maybe it's, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's a season thing. They come up and get the seasonings.
Yeah. Come up and get some people, village people.
Maybe what is it called? Old Faithful. Maybe Old Faithful's like their chimney.
It's their toilet.
That's from Inner Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
It goes the opposite direction.
Got a hell of a flush to it.
Oh my God! No wonder it stinks.
They should see the showers down there.
Oh, Jesus.
Peel your skin from your bones. Oh, all right, let's get to some Phantoms and Monsters reports. I got some cryptid reports here that I wanted to get to before we're done.
Maggie, the lunatics are on your screen.
Lunatic is on your screen. All right, this is a report from Phantoms and Monsters, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Lon Strickler's site. Check it out. He's got a lot of great reports there. There's just hours and hours of information that you can go through, thousands of reports there, as well as SasquatchChronicles.com as well, folks. I love going through there and finding stories to read too, but I just didn't have time for today. But it's not only a great site for Wes's shows, but it's a great site for a lot of shows and information.
You mean Lon's show?
No, I'm talking about SasquatchChronicles.com. There's a few sites that I really love to go and get information, and certainly Sasquatch Chronicles is one of them. There's great reports that people write in, great information. as well as Lon's site, which is Phantoms and Monsters. And Lon also has a podcast as well. It's called Phantoms and Monsters Radio. And you can find all the information on phantomsandmonsters.com.
Wes says, I just interviewed a guy from Afghanistan. His platoon came across a giant at 15,000 feet up near the border.
Is that the Kandahar story, or is this something else, Wes? I think that sounds fantastic. Wow. Oh, I love stories about giants. I think
so. Yeah, Digger asked the same question:
Oh.
a giant or Kandahar, and Wes says, "Yeah, last couple of shows." So yeah.
Okay.
So he's been doing shows on the giants, huh?
Fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Very cool.
Oh no, he said it was something else.
Oh, okay, something else. Okay. Gotcha. All right, so let's get to this. This is a report on Phantoms and Monsters from May 18th, and this is injured Bigfoot shocks bow hunter in Arkansas wildlife area. I think about this a lot because I've heard stories, and there was somebody that was up in Canada that had some really compelling images of a Bigfoot standing next to this enormous tree stump. Right. It was basically, what do you call it? The root ball was all tipped up, but that root ball was about 12 feet or more, or maybe it was like 8 feet or more high. Right. And there's a photo that was captured allegedly showing a Sasquatch standing next to that root ball and being taller than it by about a foot. Its head was over the edge of the root ball. And it seemed like, as I recall, something was wrong with like the left arm of this Sasquatch. Like no matter, it was several pictures, but it never moved it. The other arms and parts moved fine. Right. And I don't know if it's authentic or not. I saw it years ago, but I found it very interesting. And you wonder about that. I mean, of course, anything that has to survive wild, injuries can be fatal. You know, it's like for us, an injury happens, well, we wrap it up and we don't have to go out and hunt our food. We don't have to go out and forage to survive. We go to the grocery store. So you can do it on crutches and do just fine, or a wheelchair, or being perfectly healthy. It's
anymore, you can just get online and order it.
Right, or have it brought to your door. But when you're subsisting on living as with what you can find and scrape up, suddenly something like a sprained ankle could be a death sentence. Or a cut could be a death sentence if it became septic. And so, that's got to be a huge consideration. So what did they do when they get injured? Well, in this case, injured Bigfoot shocks bow hunter in Arkansas wildlife area. Let's read it. It says a bow hunter has an early morning encounter while in his tree stand in Sulphur River Wildlife Management Area, Arkansas. The Bigfoot screamed, and when it cut itself in the sharp arrowhead. Oh, okay. I scouted the area the day before and hung my old man climbing stand on a tree for the following morning's hunt. The only tree I could use was a small oak with a main fork that was about 12 feet off the ground, and covered with poison oak. That means I could only climb up to that fork and not my usual 20 to 25 feet, which I usually like to hunt from. I'm not allergic to poison oak, so that wasn't going to bother me. I arrived at 4:45 a.m., parked, and got dressed. I learned that to be a successful hunter, you have to be scent free, especially if you're a bow hunter. I mean, if you're a gun hunter, you don't have to worry about your scent as much, but you got to get a lot closer for bow. Right. I dressed in my tree leafy suit and lacrosse rubber boots, sprayed down with scent killer, and doused my boots with persimmon scent, and walked to my stand at 5 a.m. The moon was full, and I could see with the use of my streamlight, green light, pen light. Streamlight, green light, pen light. With the morning dew, I made no noise getting to my stand, and without scaring game off with a large flashlight. I made it to my stand and found that the top portion was twisted around to the back of the tree, and the bottom was moved to the base of the tree. Why did someone do this and not steal it? This is 5:20 a.m. I was up in the tree and had my bow in my lap with my arrow pointed away from me with it resting on my stand's gun rest. I pulled my earth scent wafers out, and attached them to the outside of my backpack. I was facing south with two big oak trees about 25 yards away. The clouds were moving fast, and with the full moon, I could somewhat see in the dark. I was very still and had everything camouflaged except my muzzy broadhead. on my end of my arrow. And it was about 5:30 a.m. when I heard something walk up from behind me. I turned around slowly. I turned slowly to see if I could see it. It was big, black, and at first thought it was a couple of hogs. They were too big to be hogs, and I wondered whose cows were loose in the refuge. I was wanting them to hurry up and leave so they wouldn't scare off the deer when something brushed up against my leg. I didn't hear anything climb the tree with me, so I kept still. I was looking forward when I saw a big black hand reach up and grab my muzzy broadhead. The hand was a shiny black and the fingers were huge. The palms were also black like a gorilla. When it grabbed my broadhead, the razor blades cut him and it yelled like a bull. It was louder than a car horn and it was at my feet. It scared the crap out of me, so I started yelling back. It ran off, breaking trees and tearing down everything in its path. I sat there 15 minutes until it got daylight and left. I believe that I scared him or her as much as it scared me. Wow.
Yeah, we have a phone call.
We do. Okay, well, let's get to that just now. But really cool story. I think that's amazing. I don't know what that would feel like because I remember seeing videos of people being up in tree stands and black bear coming up.
Bears come up, yeah. Yeah, I like poop myself.
Yeah, I know, but could you imagine if it was a big old Sasquatch?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, that would be a whole stream of poo. All right, let's get to this call and find out what's going on. And let me get my mouse over there. Let's get to it. This is area code 920. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hi. Who are we talking to?
Can you hear me?
We can hear
All
you.
right.
Yeah.
My name is Justin.
Hi, Justin. Welcome to the show. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for your program. I actually posted this in the chat room on YouTube. I had two stories to tell, but they want to hear about the glowing orb
Sure.
that I seen in my basement.
By all means.
All right. I've only had two, I guess, supernatural experiences in my life. This is the first one that I've ever had. I'm 36. This happened when I was about 13, so picture around 1998, 1999.
Mm-hmm.
I was in my basement at my parents' house, and at the time I used a skateboard, and I used to use my father's like wooden workbench in the basement to use a candle to melt down wax to make into like these little circles to use for like skateboarding wax. I guess if anybody ever skateboards, you use it to, anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at my dad's workbench and I was melting down these candles to turn into wax. And now picture looking down to your left, there's a hallway in the basement. Not much down it, just, some stuff on either side going down a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked to my left, and about 5 feet away, there was a large glowing orb of multicolors. I mean, it was just every color in the spectrum. It was about 5 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was that close to it. It was about 3 feet diameter, a circle.
Uh-huh.
And every color, like I said, but it wasn't reflecting on anything around. It was just like this, I don't know, glowing orb,
Sure.
not reflecting on anything else.
Uh-huh.
So I just froze for a second, and I just stared at it, and I don't know, it only was like a few seconds. Like a lot of people may say that they were like frozen for, it seemed like a long time or whatever. I mean, I just seen it in a few seconds. I ran up the stairs.
Yeah.
I
don't blame you.
Yeah, I literally ran up the stairs from the basement, and then there's another small set of stairs that go into the kitchen, and then I ran all the way across the other side of the house into the living room to the front door, and I was just so terrified. But I mean, I seen it. It was literally right there.
Wow.
5 feet away from me. All of these beautiful colors. It was just like shining and like rotating. But
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's an unusual sighting too, because usually orbs people see are one color. They're monochromatic, but I think that's awesome, and I have no doubt that you saw what you saw. But it is a unique description, and I like that. I think that's pretty amazing. Did you have other experiences in this house, or was it just kind of a one-off thing?
I had one other experience in this house.
Okay.
I used to go down in the basement, and I always felt like when I would go down there, like when I would go back up the stairs, like I would kind of run, because I'd always feel like there was, like, after I seen that for the rest of my life that I lived there,
yeah.
I always felt like there was something watching me, but it was probably just that. But I had one other experience in the house, if you want me to give you a...
Sure.
All right. So this actually was years later. I think I was about 26 years old. My father had just passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I was not a very good son. At the time, I was into a lot of drugs. I had actually just got out of the penitentiary at the time.
Okay.
So, like, I was depressed. I was drinking a lot and using. But anyhow, my father had passed away, and I was laying in his chair. He used to have this, his recliner that he used to sit in for years. That was his recliner. Well, after he passed away, I used to lay in his chair because I was, distraught. And I knew I wasn't a very good son at the time, and I kind of felt crappy.
Sure.
But I would sleep in his chair, and then just this one night, I was just laying there in this chair. I had it, reclined back, and I just felt like somebody uppercutted me right in my gut, like I keeled right out of the chair, like as if I was just laying there sleeping, and I was punched right in the gut. I keeled over in the chair, got up, kind of staggered to the kitchen. I started gagging, actually, because it was literally like a punch to my gut.
Wow. Yeah.
And went to the kitchen. I kind of took a few minutes, got a drink of water, and went back and laid in the chair. And I started falling asleep again. And about, 30 minutes later, it felt like another punch in the gut. This time not as hard, but it was kind of felt like the same thing.
Wow.
And I think that's the best way that I can explain it. I've never had any type of things like that before or since then when I had lived there.
Sure.
But I think it was just kind of I always kind of just, that I attributed to, I think, my dad, just kind of, getting back at me, because, like I said, I wasn't a very good son at the time. I was laying in his chair, and I think it was just, I don't know, it was my sense of him kind of getting back at me. But, yeah, those are my two paranormal stories at that house. So,
wow, that's intense. That's,
yeah.
I'm glad that things are worked out for you, and in the end, and maybe that was maybe it was him just saying, hey, knock it off, you need to get on with things and pull your life together and get out of my chair.
Get out of his chair. So, yeah.
Wow.
So,
fascinating.
all right, well, I'll let you guys go. I'm a common listener, and I do this up in the chat room, so
well, wonderful,
figured
brother.
I'd call in.
Thank you so much for calling in. It's great to meet you, and thank you so much for your support as well. It's great. Continue to watch.
Yep.
All right, brother. Good night.
All right, have a good one, you guys.
You as well, sir. Thank you.
Wow.
Bye.
That's wild, huh? Very intense stuff. That is really powerful. So, at this point, we could get into another story, but I definitely want to get to the Trailcam Terrors before we're done here.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get to the Trailcam Terrors. All right, folks, this is the Trailcam Terrors. This is our segment that we use every once in a while to talk about photos or images or trail cam footage or video footage from, like security cameras and such that seems to be paranormal. And I got to look again. What was the site? This is actually coming from a YouTube channel. It's called Jimmy B Trail Cams. And it's really fascinating. And I saw this a little while ago. I don't think it was too awful long ago that I saw it, maybe a series of months or maybe even weeks, but I was very taken aback by this footage because I think it is very possibly the real thing. And I can only tell you from a gut level perspective, there's only so much to work with here.
Right.
But I got to tell you, and Don, you and I both watched it, and you had a feeling this was pretty powerful as well, right?
Yep, absolutely. I think it's pretty awesome.
All right, so let's get to this video, folks. This is taken from a trail cam, and what you'll see is this setting, and the setting is, this is a salt lick, I think, is what was going on here, and he had a trail cam on it, just seeing, maybe this is an area that he hunts or whatever, but he was keeping an eye on it with a trail cam, I think is the setup for this, and it's a stealth cam, and you can see that it was from April 28th of 21, is when the footage came out. It's 8:57 p.m. So it's pretty dark, but I'm going to tell you to watch this area here and watch as the motion goes through these trees here. And we'll review it and talk about it at length here, but here we go. Check it out. That is so powerful. I want to just keep watching it again here, folks, and check out the size. It's got the definite forward lean that's usually reported. The arm length looks good, I think. Now, I don't know if anything's come forward from this saying, oh, no, it was a proven hoax, but as far as I know, it's been not debunked. But I just get the feeling that is huge. Now, this is a salt lick, so these are about a foot like a foot by foot by foot, right?
Yeah.
So whatever this is, and it's not too far back because it's catching the ambient infrared light. So the infrared light doesn't go forever on these cameras. It goes maybe 20, 30 feet. So whatever's going on back here is not real far away, but this thing just feels huge. It feels like if this is a foot, then this is about 8 or 9 of them stacked is what I'm thinking here. I don't know. Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, sounds fair. Yeah.
Yeah, but
But you don't really even see its feet though. It's like it's whatever it is. It's like ankle. You can see from ankles up.
Yeah.
Because it looks like there's a little hump there that. So it may even be bigger than that.
Yeah, it definitely has a slouched posture.
Right.
I don't think this is CGI. I do computer graphics as a sideline, and I don't know. It's possible that it could be, but my gut's saying this may very well be the real thing. I don't know. There's just there's like a vibe to it is what I'm feeling. It's like, and that's kind of esoteric and weird sounding, but honest to God, sometimes it's just a gut reaction. But whatever it is, if it's legitimately happening, if it's not manipulated in some way like that, then this thing is wandering in the complete darkness and disappears down that away. But whatever it is, I think it's a pretty fascinating capture and may very well be the real thing. Again, I'm not an expert. I don't know so much about what's going on here. Just this little glimpse of, this motion that's really, it's hard to make out any details, but here's what I want to focus on a little bit.
Well, it looks like, that it's got, you can see like the light shining off its skin through the hair.
Right. Now I'm going to go frame by frame back here and we're going to look at it.
It ain't a Walmart greeter. Rachel.
Nope, that it ain't. But if you look at the size, I mean, it really does look pretty big. And it does seem to have at least believable dimensions. Obviously, it's ambiguous because it's a shadowy figure. Right. But like, here's the shoulders here,
Right. Yep.
And then the head is set a little forward from that. It definitely has that classical Bigfoot description in that regard. Now, I've never seen one, but I've heard a lot of reports, a lot of reports, both from listening to Sasquatch Chronicles and reading tons of things online and other shows and talking to witnesses myself. It does seem believable to me. I'm trying to go back frame by frame here, but it does take a while. But that is really a very big figure. And again, there's so much we don't know about this. I've not talked to the person that owns this footage, whose site this is from. I think it's theirs. I don't think it's a republish. I know that NVTV did a republish of this, and they did a segment on it that's about 14 minutes. But yeah, I think it at least feels like it might be the real thing to me. But you be the judge. I'm no expert. Not that there is an expert, but it just seems to have a very large stature. It has that forward lean as it's walking along. That's so classically referred to. But it's just big. It's just so big. It looks huge. So that's the Trailcam Terrors. Let's play it over again. And I don't know what the sounds like. A lot of branches breaking. I don't think it's necessarily from this thing. It may be. It does kind of go with the footsteps, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it could be. It could be the actual sound that it's making. It's not being careful.
Right.
You know?
Rachel's interested in its booty.
Its booty?
Yeah. She said it's got a Bigfoot booty.
Yep.
If Gigi was here, she'd say, "Give me his phone number."
Could be. But there it is, folks. That's today's Trailcam Terrors.
There you
I don't
go.
know. You be the judge.
That's right.
But I think it looks plausible. I will. Let me put a link to it and to the actual video that we're looking at here in the comments or in the chat, and you guys can look at it and see what you think. I think it's potential. Again, nobody can know for sure except for the person that owns this footage and knows the territory. And
Right.
But it does look like it's plausible. I'll just say plausible.
There you go.
So anyway, I don't know, Don, does that feel like a journey to you?
Yeah, it does. Yep.
It does to me too.
It seems like we've done a good job tonight.
I think we have. Hey, David, good to see you.
Yep. Hey, how are you?
Yeah, he says hi to Don. You didn't say hi to me. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Yep. Okay, rock and roll brother. I see it. All right. Exonerated.
Exonerated.
No need to admonish you now. So we'll go with that. But
right.
Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Don, anything in closing?
Nope. Just remember, you can get your official Paranormal Portal gear at teespring.com, or
right
you
below.
can just go below and see the shelf. The merch shelf is there now.
We got a merch shelf.
There you
Love it if you'd help us support the show that way, if you're able to. And you'd be the proud owner of some Paranormal Portal merchandise. And we're really, Don and I were having a long discussion tonight about expanding the merch offerings. And we've got some pretty cool ideas. So once we can unveil those, we'll let you know. But anyway, folks, that's what we got for you tonight. Hope you had a good time. Thank you to all of you who joined us. Thank you to the caller. That was cool to talk to you about your experiences. We really appreciate that. And of course, if you have experiences of your own, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, email me at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. Again, paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. And I'd love to have you there. Or otherwise, you can call in on the live shows when we're here. That's always an opportunity. But from us to you, lots of love. Lots of love. All right, folks, that's all we got for you tonight. So thank you, and we'll see you on Friday night. Don and I will be back to tear it up once again.
Yep.
And then Saturday, of course, Friday and Saturday. So anyway, guys, love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Poof.
Like magic. Smithsonian magic.
Poof.
We're so dumb.